Okay, so guys, I have no clue what I'm doing as far as my upload schedule goes to YouTube. But this is the Deathmatch World Cup 2 Winners Bracket Finals between TheViper and TheCode. TheCode is in the blue. He's a DM-only player from Turkey. He's very good. He just beat the reigning world champion of this event. His name is True, who's from America. Now we have Viper, who's always been good at everything Age of Empires 2. Now, in Deathmatch, you start with max resources, or lots of resources, sorry. And it's all about spamming and producing and going wild. So it's a Slav war on a map called Sand Maze, I believe. And neither player... Oh, no. TheCode did lose a villager at the start, so losing villagers is no bueno. Due to the fact you need the villagers to build out. So I like to upload some Deathmatch to YouTube, that way people get a taste of it. But it's impossible for me to do a proper intro on Deathmatch, so my apologies there to everyone that might be watching. But this is a best of 9, so we'll have a lot of games. I don't think I'll upload the full best of 9, but... he's off to a good start here. He's already killed 2 villagers. A capture age tells us on the bottom right the vill counts. Or sorry, the amount of vills that were sniped, and then the amount of production buildings. So it's interesting, but Viper was late to docking in the center. And this could end up hurting him. This map, docking is very important. He will lose one villager. He'll probably lose both villagers, in all honesty. And so TheCode can make demos, TheCode can make galleons, and he's making scorpions now as well. So scorpions and champions and galleons for TheCode. I like his build a lot better than Viper's so far. Sure, Viper killed the villagers, but he ended up losing the same amount. Now he finds himself without water control, and he's making siege onagers. Yeah, so this is like quicksand, by the way. So you have to dock here, but the ships can come onto this quicksand. I guess if it was quicksand, the units would be falling in, but it's just an Age of Empires 2 terrain. TheCode has a huge lead. He has 30 more military than Viper, and it's all because of those production buildings. And also, I think his composition is much better than Viper's is currently. The only thing that separates the compositions is Viper's now making boyars, and he's making siege onagers. These are expensive options. Now in DM, you start off with military, but then you expand the economy. There's TCs for Viper everywhere. There's TCs for TheCode everywhere. This might not be something that I want to do all the time, but let me tell you guys, Deathmatch, high-level Deathmatch is really impressive stuff. Insane what these guys are able to do. Oh man, a demo right here would be so juicy. Oh, can you imagine? Make some demos, please. Now, some demos are queued up in those docks, but not too many. Slight villager lead for Viper. Oh, the siege onager shots on the scorpions! That's a game changer. That's a big game changer because now these boyards can easily fall in here and finish off the rest. And maybe Viper's boyards could also kill the siege onagers behind. Wow, that was huge. So as Viper's army does damage there, he's also looping around to this side. He's snagging a relic. The relic count is 1-to-1 right now. Oh wow, that monk is lucky. Maybe now Viper can comfortably dock a bit. DM starts to slow down a lot right now. Now they're out of gold, so you'll see a lot more halberdiers and a lot more eco expansion. So initially, TheCode start was good, but Viper's boyar switch changed things, and I like how he's been using his mobility with that. He won't stop that castle, but he is sniping some villagers there, which is nice. A big fight in the center again. And that's fairly even as far as cost goes between the two of them. Both players lost lots of siege onagers and scorpions. And TheCode has more population. It's mainly the military. Oh, and he has a raid with Cavalier back here. But the units are not moving. 3 relics for TheCode, 2 for Viper. So every time I've seen this map, I felt as though the water almost gives you too much control. And you'll notice now, as Viper's siege onager numbers are dwindling and he doesn't have much gold anymore, he can't really pressure many areas. Code's castle positions and Viper's castle positions very good, but I prefer Code's positions because he protects his flanks. You see this? See how he's protecting his flanks from any raids? Whereas Viper, he has this castle protecting this flank, but this flank is wide open. Okay, but there he goes. He goes to castle now, but the boyars are coming in. This is a huge thing as far as position goes. Now, Code didn't patrol, though, which is a problem, and he's just passing. Oh, no. He saw the gold. Deathmatch is played on Explored, so he saw the gold. Wow, and he Siege Workshop quick-walled Vipered in. On the right-hand side. Interesting. Man, if he would have denied that castle, that would have been big. Instead, he just idles a few villagers. The Viper's champions might end up getting past the Siege Workshop anyway, but the champions will die. Honestly, I feel like this is kind of worth it for Viper because he has time to advance forward, since Code has so much in the back of his own base. I don't love deathmatch, but I love it when players are so evenly matched. The downside with DM is that games can end really quickly, but both players' populations are high. This is a best of 9. And Code is banking up more resources than Viper is, and he has the center control, but Viper's trying his best to get into the center now. Yeah, but only one fire ship is out. I think fires are probably the way to go, because they do more damage in lower numbers. Here we have a raid. So I wonder what the boom is going to be like, because you'd expect Viper to be able to multitask a bit more. You see the farms coming up. Code, he has more food, but
more than 8, but hey, who's counting?
He needs to get some farms up.
Great content, bud.
And where does Viper go from here? What does he do to change things? Man, DM is so much more difficult to cast without Capture Age. This is so good because I can zoom out, survey the lands. T90 official, Philster and I had a high-level deathmatch game yesterday if you want more. Harry, sorry, but I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. I could be wrong, but something tells me it's not going to be quite as good as Code and Viper. So, Viper has a castle here. This is very important, and he'll be looking to push this area of Code's base. Code will be doing the same thing, so he needs to take the center away from Viper first, but taking out the castles would be nice. I mean, Viper has docked now, and he's making fires. And Code has 153 villagers. He's overboomed. 153 villagers with slabs is crazy. He doesn't need 155 villagers now. He's still producing them, too. Well, overbooming is a strategy, just ask Fatslav, but if you have the resources and you don't have the population space to make military, then you'll just die. That is a very worrying sign for the Code. Very good job from Viper to stabilize and rebound from the early losses. And he's now shifting his siege onagers to the left. This is not something that Code can see yet. Alright, Code, I think he's deleting vills now. Yeah, he's deleting vills. Okay, so he's deleting the villagers. He's realized he needs pop space. Now he can make more military. And now the military count all of a sudden is very, very close. Yeah, he started to I think he's idling them and he's deleting them. Yeah, you see, he's been doing that all over the place here. Man, it's not like a player. It's not like Code to not realize that type of thing. Again, he beat the reigning world champion of deathmatch, but that was 3 years ago, right? Code was really good back then as well. It's just he didn't make it to the finals, so. I think he made it to the semis or something. I don't really remember. Pretty sick game, though. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to see more of the best of 9, what I'll probably do is have the full best of 9 in the video description unlisted for you guys. But who knows? I might upload everything. I can't really tell you. If I knew all the games are going to be this competitive, then I might upload all of them. But I just don't know that. Viper's siege onagers seem extremely vulnerable out here. I'm just waiting for fires to go over or demos to go over. Viper has 20 more villagers. That's what's the difference in the population right now. And he is raiding a bit. I saw some hussars raiding here. And now he has some rams and hussars raiding on this side as well. But I think Code is going to solve that problem. And he is going... Oh my god! Maybe he won't take Viper off of water. Look at that from Viper. Some desperate demos. Nah, I think Viper's about to be pushed completely off of water. I then think that Viper could lose the left-hand side. This is the problem with mainly siege onagers grouped up like this. And Code will deal with this as well, though there are... No, never mind. The second the hussars arrive, the hussars die. It's 3 relics for Code, it is 2 for Viper. This is what the economies look like. I think Viper's has been... it's been less idled for sure.
Everyone today?
And he has more working farms at the moment. In fact, we can check with Capture Age. And the food per minute and the wood per minute, everything per minute is much higher for Viper at the moment. So his economy is better. And at this stage of the game, a player like Viper is going to be significantly better than Code because this is just a normal late game. Pretty much. I mean, the water aspect in the center is different, and the fact they play on fast speed is different. But the DM players, they have to have a little bit of success at the start, which is what Code did, but then Viper weathered that storm, held on, and he has killed that castle now, which gives him another avenue to raid from. Just curious, did you guys know that Viper's good at Age of Empires 2? Did you ever hear the guy? Did you know that he was good? Steps into deathmatch just because there's a tournament. He's like, yeah, I'm good at this too. Normally, there's enough Viper fanboys out there where I try and find a narrative which kind of spins against him a little bit. Like, people give him too much credit in RM at times because of his reputation. But to step into to DM and be this competitive is pretty sweet. But as I say this, like, the second I say good things about him, is say goodbye to this control. And here he's getting pushed. So Code, he's not happy about this. He'll also take down a castle on the flank. I think. He's kind of good. Yeah, that castle will die. Nine castles, now 8 castles for Viper, only 3 for Code. The wood, food, and gold per minute is still much higher for Viper. Now, at this point, I'm wondering where he's getting the gold from. Is gold here? Soon, everyone's going to run out. Oh, and Viper's making fires versus low numbers of war galleys, which means that the fires should clean that up. Yeah, Code is completely out of gold. Viper's even castling here. Code has stone, but he hasn't placed the castle numbers that Viper has. I guess there's a risk in placing a lot of castles early, because then you could lose them all in one swing, but Viper, for the most part, has kept his up, and they're all along the sides of his base. See this? Guys, on this version of Capture Age, the relic count, the castle count, and the production building count, and the value percentage of military is all on the bottom right, okay? The DM version of Capture Age is different. It shows all that stuff, and I don't need to toggle for it. Viper's chopping the trees. If this game goes late, Code will have a few less trees to chop. Next game, force nothing. Viper has all the control now. He has all the control now. Oh my god, and the bowwyards are here. Perfect time. He snipes one treb. Okay, but I think this castle's a goner for him. Now Code is thinking about building some sneaky buildings in the corner. Is that an outpost? That is an outpost. Alright. I guess he'll kill the barracks and then build his own buildings there. Code has more military still. Viper even has some cannon galleons to help with this castle. And so that castle will go down. Expanding Viper's control on that side. However, Viper could lose on this side. With all this stone that Code has, if he starts pushing and castling here, we could see a bit of a flank trade. Not entirely a base trade, of course. If Viper can get the gold for some trebs, though, he could start trebbing that, and he is reinforcing with halberdiers right away. If Capture Age says everything, why do we need casters then? do you want me to do the next game without talking, just to see what it's like without casters? I can guarantee you Deathmatch is going to be a whole lot more boring if I just sit here like this. No, don't say yes to that, chat. Come on. Don't say yes to that.
Finally get to catch your stream. Thanks for all the content.
Laser Guy, hey man, thank you. So since these games are so hectic, I am going to wait for in-between games for the most part with shoutouts, but the games will slow down a little bit. I mean, Viper has stalled out. It's weird. There's a lot more yellow on this side of the map, so you'd think that this would be good for him.
The French Revolution after that France Diplo game.
But Viper's not having success over here. It's 80 military for the Code and it's 50 for Viper. And Viper will lose another castle. Okay, now, well, I'm not so sure. He's sending in champs now. If he could kill Code's castle, I think he'll be liking this, but it's still risky. Oh, can Viper save it? He will save it. Barely, but he's about to run out of stone, so good luck doing that again. Huh. Interesting how Viper sent his trebs over here. Kind of out of the way. Code can't see that. No, I can't see that. I lied. Viper's still chopping his trees with the onagers. Okay, so since gold is hard to come by, players should put most of their gold into champions and trebs and rams. I think we'll see a lot less trebuchets. I think we'll see fewer boyars, which we haven't seen in a while. You have to make your gold count. Now, what's interesting about Slav halbs is they're actually pretty good against even Slav champions. And these numbers, the halbs will do okay. And Viper just bought some stone to repair this, guys. That's how important this side is to him. And he will... Oh my god. That onager needs to kill the treb. Boom. He kills the treb. 11 castles versus 3. Code could afford to build 2 more. Most of Code's focus will probably still be here. So Code was actually in my chat yesterday. And, you know, as a DM-only guy, he doesn't really frequent my streams, or at least he doesn't talk a lot in the chat, but it was cool to see his insight when we were talking about... who was it? It was Nikov and Rubenstock. That wasn't even yesterday, that was on Thursday, sorry. But you can see now that the castles from Viper, the positions, makes it very easy for him to defend and makes it difficult for Code to gain a foothold. Because the second Code builds a forward castle, Viper will just make a few trebs and treb it down. Yeah, so, and Code is going to have... His KD is going to be worse and worse, I imagine, because he has to run into Castle Fire. Sure, I'll show resources per minute again. The food count is higher for Code. The gold and the wood count is higher for Viper, but not significantly higher. And that is a confusing step, because I'm still not sure where he's getting gold from. He has 2 relics. Is he mining gold somewhere? How is his gold count higher? That is weird. I mean, maybe, okay, now the gold count is higher for Code. I wonder if selling for golds affects that. You know? Or maybe we're finding out after all these years Viper's been a hacker all along. I think if you sell at the market, it might affect that, because it's going up and down all the time. But again, Viper will kill a castle. Oh, demos, hallelujah, boom! Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful demos from Viper. Oh, and I love how he used all 3 of them on separate groups of units as well. Such great value there. Hey, so if Felix is out there, Felix is my overlay guy. Everything's fine now, okay? I don't know if you did something, but I refreshed the start stream program, and everything's working now. Yeah, okay, cool. I see your messages, and I figured I'd just say something out loud instead of typing. I'm not sure what happened. It just went to 0 all of a sudden, and then I refreshed the server after I'd messaged you, so maybe it was my refresh, or maybe it was you. Thank you. Chat, please salute the overlay guy. Okay, so Code should have a slight advantage. This is going to be a long series, man. This is going to be a very long series. Viper will lose this castle. Actually, I have to start saying it like it's actually going to happen, because what a caster should say is he might lose this castle. Yeah, see? Now the Hussars come in, and they'll probably kill the Trebuchet. Yeah. It's just so annoying what repairs can do in this game. And having those castles up is going to make life very difficult for Code. So most of his farming eco is right here, whereas Viper can expand more as well. There we go. Look at this. Make fun of my farms, why don't you? Look at Viper's farms. My farms would be a whole lot worse, but I guess it's understandable when they're on fast speed like this. It is now 148 gold to buy 100 stone, by the way. Ooh, and Code lost the monastery, so he's bringing his relics back. I think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of the same in this game. Because the gold count will be slightly higher for Code. The food and the wood count is going to be pretty much similar. So on one hand, it's harder for Viper to kill Code because he has 1 less relic. But on the other hand, it's harder for Code to kill Viper because Viper has 10 more castles. So I personally would give Viper an edge here with the amount of map control he has. He has 70% of the map. But he has to pick and choose his fights wisely. So the skulls displayed on the units is how many units is killed. So next time Viper has a raid, so watch here, you can see how many kills these Hussars have gotten. So we don't know which Hussar it was that got the kill, but that's what that shows. So you can see value, like here these champions have killed 32 units. This was a recent update with Capture Age, and it works on all versions now. But Code has a lot more wood, which is funny because Viper's been trying to kill the trees or destroy trees with the siege onagers. But this is it, man. This is it. He has 10k wood, but once this wood is gone, Viper has wood everywhere. So in RM, it is very rare that we get to a point where players will have onagers to cut the trees. But in Deathmatch, that can happen a lot more frequently. I think Viper realizes that he just needs to keep Code from expanding. Oh my god! Code realized and split away from that. Guys, splits are kind of a rare thing in DM. So Code has got the skills to pay the bills. Had he lost those champions, that would have been a big, big loss for him. That was sick. You see that all the time with archers and stuff. in RM, but with champions, fast speed, it's not all that common. $60. Oh, come on, Viper. Make one more unit. Come on, boys. Come on, you could do it. Someone make one more unit. Man, 69 military for Viper, and 68 for Code. Feels bad. Whoa, that's a lumber camp! He's trying to chop these trees. That's how desperate Code is. He's running out of wood, boys. He has 11.1k wood, but he knows he'll need it. Wait, ships can navigate the desert. Yes. Global warming has had a huge effect on the desert. And so Viper took advantage of that. I don't know what the correct term here is. Is it quicksand? If it was quicksand, the champions would fall in. It's like, it's not marsh. It's Age of Empires, okay? It's not. Is it a shallow though? It's not really shallow. It looks. There's a tree on it. What's going on there? Is it a beach? I mean, I don't think. The reason that the person in the chat was confused is because this is just not normal. That's right. I think you guys know what I mean when I say quicksand. Yeah, so Viper might not have as much wood in the bank, but he will have more wood long term, and so he's just starving Code out. And I think it will work. Code will not have enough gold. He will not be able to mass enough to push Viper's castles. There you go. Viper just easily picks off the siege onagers. That's more gold, more siege down the drain, and Code calls it. Just after 1 hour game time fast speed, Code calls it in game number 1 in the best of 9. So again, I think that was YouTube worthy. I think you guys got to see the skill from both of these players, and this will make it easy for me and easy for everyone that might want to see this as well. So to those watching on YouTube, this one's going to be a YouTube upload at some point. When it is uploaded to YouTube, I will either have the other individual games go up, which I kind of doubt, or I will have an unlisted video in the video description, and you can watch it there. All right, so you can click that if you want to see the rest of the games. If not, hope you enjoyed Deathmatch. We're going to move along here to game 2. I'll bring up the achievements, though. Yeah, it's Viper's castle positions that changed this game, guys. I think it's easy to say now, but Code probably should have used the stone earlier. Viper macroed more. He had more food. So I guess he had less kills, but he probably made more units. Had more food, had more wood, had more stone, and had slightly more gold. I think he took control of those neutral resources that were around on the left-hand side. Remember that castle he built that Code could have stopped? That was stone that Viper was able to collect because of it, and there was a gold in that corner as well. Deathmatch is interesting. So I couldn't do this all the time, but when you have players this good, I'll